Okay, let's move on to Japan. So, according to one study, according to one study, pretty much Japan had kind of, I think the prevalence of Dravet syndrome is like 6,000. So I'm just going to use that to just it's going to be constant throughout the years. And one reason is actually Japan kind of has a population problem. So I don't think this is going to increase. May increase, may decrease, but let's just keep it at 6,000. Now, there is also Dravet syndrome in Europe, which is based on an incidence of 1 in 22,000. Based on EU population and incidence of 1. So I calculated that it's probably around, let me see if I can find another source. Man, this sucks. Okay, I'm just going to go with it at this point. So it's going to be 2318. Oops. So it's going to be 2318. Right, 20,318. And I'm just going to keep this the same throughout. Oops. Okay. Now, okay. So what's the total? The total DS, right? This is easy, so this is going to be equal to the prevalence in the US, which I'm going to use this one, and then I'm going to add Japan, and of course the EU. So this is kind of there's 48,000 people with Dravet syndrome in this entire market, which actually sounds like a lot. So I'm just going to delete this as well. And then this is actually what matters at the end of the day. Okay. So these are kind of those, okay. So this is Dravet syndrome. Okay. Now we're actually going to go to Lennox-Gastaut. Lennox, and then Gastaut. Okay. This one is actually interesting. This one is actually the bigger. So I think that most of the money is going to come from these guys. So this is actually the more important disease to actually get FDA approval. So the total addressable market okay. Let me just edit note real quick. Because I think I found a source that just kind of gives you LGS in the main markets. Yeah. So there is this LGS epidemiology forecast report from 2017 to 2030. And the total prevalent population of LGS associated in the 7 main markets are estimated at 117. Right, so I'm just going to go here directly as total. And this is going to be 1. Ooh. So it's going to be 111,000 and then 798. 798. So this is going to be the prevalence of LGS in the 7 main markets. Let me put a note here with the source of it. So let me put new note, and I'm just going to mark the countries first. So this is actually going to be the United States, of course. So this is going to be the US, Germany, France, Italy, Spain, and then you have the UK, and then finally Japan. This is, let me go to the source here real quick. Man, if we had access to this report, we'd have better data. But this is good enough, I guess. Right? So this is kind of where I got this. So one approach would be actually just kind of flatline, just to like flatline this, but I'm not really sure I want to do that. But maybe. That's just one option. Let me just have that option available. Okay, so that's one way to go. I don't need this anymore. And then let me indent this a bit. Okay, so what did I do here? So you have LGS prevalence, and then I found prevalence and then incidence data. Mortality rate, average disease duration. Honestly, I think we should go with this because I really did not find like the best data on this. So I'm just going to go with this. Just go with it for now. And we might update the model as we see fit. And of course, let me just make this a bit bigger so that we know where we are. Okay. Perfecto. So, and then what we're going to get now is the total available market, which is going to be the total number of people with DS plus the total number of people with LGS, and it's going to slightly change just a little bit throughout the years, but not that different. But as we can see, a total addressable market, and then that's a lot of people actually. Huh, that's interesting. Huh. I feel like there's a mistake here. So this is the total number of LGS, which is actually more, and this is going to be the total number of DS, and those mean, okay, I agree, I actually might have made a mistake in my previous model. Okay, not a problemo. Okay, so what do we do now? Now we're going to go to the revenue model. Okay, so for the revenue model, we're going to have to make some assumptions, and this is going to be the forecasted period as well, right? So we're going to have to make a few assumptions. So for here, okay, first of all, I'm going to have to include a few. Insert, and then insert, right? And I'm not really going to include the historical, because it's just not going to look good. I'm just going to put the projected periods. Or should I include historical as well? No, I'm just going to include the projected for now, because I honestly don't even use it. So let me go here, and this is actually going to be equal to what? Going to be equal to this guy and then you just go all the way to 2037. Right? 2037. Okay, so what's the revenue model? So we're going to start with soticlestat revenue model. I'll just go with here. We're going to go with here. Shit. And it's actually very important to make a few assumptions here. And then I'm going to go phase. So currently they're in kind of phase 3, right? Currently they're in phase 3. Also, they're going to be in phase 3. Also, phase 3 in 2025. And then probably, okay, so let me go back to Fintepla here, right? So pretty much they got approval in June, and they actually reached the market 2 years after that. So when do you expect these guys to get approval? That's the question here. So if the estimated time to actually, let me go with clinical trials, right? Let me go here real quick, because these are the clinical trials. Perfecto. Right? Okay. So these are the clinical trials we're gonna currently go through. And then their estimated completion date is going to be pretty much mid-24, right? Mid-24. So let's say they file by 25, and then it's probably going to be 27 to actually reach the market. Was that my earliest? Let me see, go to, no, here, model. Yeah, so I'm just going to postpone it by 1 year. So phase 3, and then filing, and then let's say phase 3. Wait, it's going to end in 2024, right? So let's say I'm going to go filing / approval, and then prep. Oh, let's just go like this. Filing, approval, launch. So here they're going to have phase 3, and then they're going to file. And then let's say in 2026 they get approval, but of course in 2027 they're actually going to, reach the market or be approved. If this is going to happen, right? Because this shit takes time. And then oopsie daisy, right? So this makes sense actually. Approval, and then it's only actually 2027. So 2 years, right? 2024. Well, yeah, this makes more sense. It's more in line with Fintepla, because Fintepla actually took quite a long time to actually, to actually be able to sell. Okay. Revenue model. Oopsie, let me just put this right back up here. And let me put an order here.